Welcome back. I'm Ted Thomas, and over the past 30 years, I've been involved in a home business. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to discuss how to start your own successful home business. You're going to like this story because it's easy, and I'm going to give you something you can copycat so you can start your own home business right away. Now, this is usually a pretty big decision for people because what you're doing is you're separating yourself from being told what to do every day by the boss to someone else who's you, being your own boss and telling yourself what to do. So let's hope that you're not too tough on yourself when you tell yourself what to do. So this episode is all about how to start your own successful business. Now, there's lots of things to think about when you start that business, and I'll lay out a few of those right now so that you have those and you can make notes as you go along. So I'll show you how to copycat one, which will really help you a lot, and you'll see you can copycat the business I've been in because I've been doing it from home for many years, and you can end up becoming independent and financially secure and have the freedom that you want for the rest of your life. Now, when you're the boss, well, that always sounds pretty darn good, but think about it for a second. Do you have any skills? If you don't have any skills, then you're going to have to develop those skills before you get into that business, or if you're doing it while you're in the business, you're going to have to work especially hard. All right, so the business has to do something correctly. What does it have to do? It has to produce results for someone else. In other words, does your business solve a problem? So right now it might be just an idea, that's okay, but you're going to have to solve problems if you're going to be in business and expect people to pay you. All right, so the product or the service or both of them must help the client. If it's not helping the client, why would somebody pay you? So only time you get paid in a business is if you can help somebody else and you can benefit somebody else. So prior to getting started, you probably thought a lot about your own interests. When you want to be off, that you don't want to take orders from somebody else, that you want to do whatever you want to do. Well, that's perfectly all right. But what kind of person are you? Are you a person that likes to work with people, or would you prefer to be a solo entrepreneur and be on your own? If you're in business, you're going to have to adapt and either work on your own or work with the people, but you're going to have to do it on their time, not necessarily your time. So yes, you get to work when you want to work. However, sooner or later, you're going to start running out of money, so you're going to have a boss, and that's going to be the checkbook. And the checkbook's going to tell you got to get a lot of work done. All right, so your own business gives you the freedom to do what you want when you want to do it. But your freedom is going to depend upon how much money you can make. In other words, you're going to have to get in a business that's solving people's problems, that's benefiting other people. So if you're solo and by yourself and you can do that, that's great. If you're going to work with employees, that's also good. If you're a kind of person that likes to work with people all the time, that's going to be even better because that's an art form in itself. And if you can work with people, your chances of making money are much better than if you're working all by yourself. For sure, if you thought about this already, business is a great idea. However, now you're going to have to think about that on a regular basis. So have you already tested your idea? Do you know it works? Did you work with relatives? Did you work with friends? How did you know? How do you know this business is going to work? You better test it a little bit before you quit your other job and you haven't got a job. All right. Now, if you're going to need helpers, what kind of helpers you're going to need? Those are called employees. Now, employees are going to need a place to work. They're going to need certain tools to work with. They're only going to be worried about one thing, and then that's going to be how long can you keep them employed, and are you going to be able to make? Are they going to be able to make the payroll? In other words, are you going to be able to pay them? All right. So the big question always is where is the money coming from when you're an employer? Now suddenly you're an employer. Now if you're a solo entrepreneur, you're just worried about paying yourself. If you become a business and you have other people, you have to worry about them and make sure that they're taken care of. Every 2 weeks they want to get paid, and of course they have times when they want to be off and they have to have a dental appointment or whatever. All right, so business requires you be a leader. Now this is the toughest part. You're going to be the leader. That means you have to know where the business is coming from. Who are the clients that need your problem-solving product? Now, your problem-solving product is the key because people buy solutions. They're only interested in solutions. So where are those clients and how are you going to find them? Very important question. All right. Now, if you're in business and you can't do all the work yourself, who's going to help you? So are you going to have employees? If you have employees, that's fine. Are you going to take care of them? Do they have a place to work? Are they going to have certain work schedules? Are they going to have certain work that you expect them to do? All right. I'm in the business today of guiding people with videos, and I guide people with seminars, and I guide people with workshops. If you're going to be in a business where you're helping other people and you need someone surrounding you, how many people can you handle? You need to figure this out before you get into that business. Why? Because what if you get 4 or 5 clients all at once? They're all going to want instantaneous service. So keep that in the back of your mind. All right. So where are you going to find those clients? And when you do find those clients, how are you going to keep the clients so that you can get repeat business from each of those? So what happens if you have 5 or 10 viewers like I might have? For example, I'm making a video right now. What if 5 or 7 or 10 people decide they want to get involved with my product? Well, I'll have to be able to handle that. So can I do all that by myself? Absolutely not. I couldn't do it all. How could I handle 5 people? So I'm going to have people to help. So you need to think that out if you're going to be in business. All right, the answer may be that you can only accommodate so much in your business. So if that's the case, don't oversell, because if you can't deliver, you're going to be in a big problem. All right. Now, why do you want to be in this business? You probably want to be in business because you want to work when you want to work. Now, that's okay. Do you have experience at doing other things, or do you have experience at just doing one thing? If you have a business and has ideas, well, you're going to have to test those, you're going to have to prove that they work, and you're going to have to train other people to work with you and help you. Your experience needs to help other people. So I'm going to go back to that many times. You're in business to solve problems. You're in business to help other people. You're in business because you have a benefit that you can pass on. If you can't do that, then your business is doomed, because if you can't help people, why would people want to do business with you? They won't want to do business with you. So you have to answer that question continuously. All right. Now, how are you going to learn all the things you need to learn about this business? You need to do research. One of the best things you can do is research competitors. And if you're hoping you don't have a competitor, don't think that way, because it would be good if you did have a competitor. Why? Because they've already proven that there's people that will buy the product. Now you need to create a product that's better than the competitor. So find out what the competitor is doing and do something that's better than they are. In other words, provide more benefits, provide more solutions, provide something faster, provide something that's cheaper. If you can't do those things, guess what? Your business isn't going to last. So you need to know what your competitors are doing, and you'll learn a lot just by looking at what they're doing. I'm not suggesting for a minute that you copy them, because you need to be better, you need to be faster, you need to be costing less money, and you need to give more benefits. If you don't, well, the competitor will keep their business. All right, so that's good that there's competitors out there so that you can look and see exactly what they're doing. Now, if you can do it for less money, that's always appealing, but it doesn't have to be for less money, because maybe you can provide more benefits. All right, so you're going to create this business, going to be up to you. All right, the product is going to have benefits, so that's what you're going to sell. You're going to sell the benefits. All right, now 30 years ago, I started in a business, and I started because I had discovered something that the rest of the real estate business wasn't interested in. All right, now the traditional real estate is very slow, very steady, very driven by guidelines and rules to follow, whereas the business that I discovered wasn't that way. What was it? Well, it was a subset of the real estate business, and that subset was tax liens and tax deeds. All right, I found out that the government was confiscating property, and what are they going to do with the property? They wanted to resell it. And when they resold it, they want to sell it for 10 cents, 20 cents on the dollar. Now, most people were not interested in that kind of property. Now, what I was going to do is I was going to do just what the government wanted. I could buy it low, and then I could sell it back into the retail market. All right, so if I could buy it low, in other words, for 10 or 20 cents on the dollar, that was up to me to get the property sold. So I could use all kinds of media and get it sold. So any difference between the purchase price and what I sold it for was what I call margin. All right, you can call that the profit margin. All right, now if you have margin, then you have a business that you can make money. So is that a good business for me? Absolutely, it's a good business. So tax liens, I could buy low and I could sell for any price. I knew right away, perfect business, because it could make profit. Before I bought it, I knew what my profit could be. So if I could buy for 10 cents, 20 cents, or 30 cents on the dollar, I was on the way. All right, is all this legal? Is it ethical? Well, yes, it's not only legal and ethical, it's not very pretty, it's not glamorous, but it's a business that you can be doing every single day, 365 days a year. It's always there because there's 3,000 counties all trying to get rid of property. So you're getting the idea. All right, so buying low and then selling for outrageous profits was a perfect business for me. It could be a perfect business for you. So let's learn just a little bit about that business. First of all, there's 3,000 counties nationwide. They all have tax defaulted properties to sell. You can buy those for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar. So you could be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. Now, where do you find customers to sell them to? That's actually the easiest part. Finding customers to sell them is just the matter of using media. What kind of media? Well, you can use a newspaper. You can use a sign on the property. You could use the multiple listing service. You could use Craigslist. You could use Trulia. You could use Zillow. You're getting the idea. So there's many systems you could advertise that your property is way below the market price, and you could buy it low and then you could sell it low. So dozens of people every day are searching for bargain properties. So that's the business I went into. Very much the same as what Walmart, Costco, those businesses do what? They buy it low and they sell a little lower than everybody else so they can sell it quickly. Now, young people are looking for these properties. Now, are these properties brand new? No, many of them are used and abused, but that's okay because they're willing to win and clean them up and fix them up. And that's a perfect business for me because I can buy it low and I can sell it for outrageous profits. All right. Where am I going to sell them? I'm going to sell them into the marketplace using media, letting the world know online and offline that I have properties to sell. So you're sort of getting the idea. All right, so this business is a good one. So you can start your own successful business, but you need to do your research ahead of time. Now, if you decide to get in the tax lien and deed business, you need to know two things that are very important. If you're going to go buy them at auctions, then you need to go look at those properties. You'll have to learn how to research and evaluate those properties. When it comes to selling them, there's tons of media to do that. Now, if you're going to buy properties, you need to look at the property before. That is before you ever think about making your first bid. Why would you do that? What if there was a fire? What if there was a flood? What if something had gone wrong? What if it was next to a chicken farm? My name is Ted Thomas. I'll see you on the next video.